Bhaktir Naištaki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Creation, Chapter 10, Departure of Lord Krishna for Dwaraka, Text 17. Sita atapatram jagraha Sitatapatram jagraha Muktadama Vibhushitam Muktadama Vibhushitam Ratnadandam Gudakeshaha Ratnadandam Gudakeshaha Priyaha Priyatamasya Priyatamasya Sitatapatram jagraha Muktadama Vibhushitam Ratnadandam Gudakeshaha Priyatamasya Sitatapatram jagraha Muktadama Vibhushitam Ratnadandam Gudakeshaha Priyatamasya Sitatapatram jagraha Muktadama Vibhushitam Ratnadandam Gudakeshaha Priyatamasya Sitatapatram jagraha Muktadama Vibhushitam Priyatamasya Sitatapatram jagraha Muktadama Vibhushitam Ratnadandam Gudakeshaha Priyatamasya Sitatapatram soothing umbrella Jagraha took up Muktadama decorated with laces and pearls Vibhushitam embroidered Ratnadandam with a handle of jewels Gudakeshaha Arjuna the expert warrior or one who has conquered sleep Priyaha most beloved Priyatamasya of the most beloved so hated. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. At that time Arjuna, the great warrior and conqueror of sleep, who is the intimate friend of the most beloved Supreme Lord, took up an umbrella which had a handle of jewels and was embroidered with lace and pearls. Kindly repeat. At that time Arjuna, the great warrior and conqueror of sleep, who is the intimate friend of the most beloved Supreme Lord, took up an umbrella which had an handle of jewels and was embroidered with lace and pearls. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Gold, jewels, pearls, and valuable stones were used in the luxurious royal ceremonies. They are all nature's gifts and are produced by the hills, oceans, etc., by the order of the Lord. When man does not waste his valuable time in producing unwanted things in the name of necessities. By so-called development of industrial enterprises, they are now using pots of gutta parcha instead of metals like gold, silver, brass, and copper. They are using margarine instead of purified butter, and 1/4 of the city population has no shelter. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamy Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauti Pracharne Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashat Deshatarne Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasati Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the Lord was leaving Hastinapur to Dwarka, and the Pandavas are giving the farewell to the Lord, and as a mark of his love towards the Lord, Arjuna personally came and held the umbrella, took up an umbrella which had a handle of jewels and was embroidered with lace and pearls. Prabhupada in the purport very nicely describes about the opulence of during the days of Yudhishthira Maharaj, or even when people are God conscious. Prabhupada says, all those mentioned about the gold, jewels, pearls, and other valuable stones, they were very generously used during those royal times. And Prabhupada says, gold, jewels, pearls, and valuable stones were used in the luxurious royal ceremonies. And what are they? They are all nature's gifts. It's not manufactured in the factory. It is all nature's gifts and are produced by the hills, oceans, etc., by the order of the Lord. So, when the Lord will order those things to be produced by the nature, Prabhupada says, when man does not waste his valuable time in producing unwanted things in the name of necessities. And man does not waste his valuable time in producing unwanted things, rather he uses his time in cultivating God consciousness and more. At that time, the Lord will order the nature to produce more and more of these valuable stones and luxurious items. But, so Prabhupada explained about the scenario of the previous olden ages when people were God conscious and the Lord used to supply all those necessities. So Prabhupada is describing about the current civilization with the advancement of industrial enterprises, how they have come down instead of using the valuable metals to the use of plastics and gutta parcha, and instead of pure butter, use artificial butters and other food items also. And most of the population have no shelter. So, how Prabhupada describing about in very few lines, Prabhupada is showing about the modern civilization. So, if we look into the net, if we search in the net, how the utensils made of gold, silver, brass and copper, they have so many advantages. Like even for small babies, they feed in silver cup and spoons, or sometimes if they are too rich, they use even gold. And there are so many advantages in using such gold and silver utensils. They are antimicrobial, so many things are there. I cannot, if you search it out, so many lists out are there. And a disadvantage, if you see what is the disadvantage of using a gold utensils, it is too costly. This is the disadvantage, and one should take care of it one should be very, very much careful about not losing it. It is costly and one should take care of it. These are the disadvantages of gold utensils. And rest are all complete advantages only. Rather, if you see the plastic utensil, the disadvantage list is more. Advantage is, it's very comfort. It's very handy, it's very comfort. So, if we list out even the other things also, like whatever the artificially prepared by the man, manufactured by the man, what are the advantage? It's very comfort. It's very handy. And disadvantage? So many lists will be there. So this is the scenario of current artificial lifestyle of the man. The artificial lifestyle of the man is very comfort. For what? For the senses. He can comfort his senses to the extent, to the maximum extent he can. And what are the disadvantages? The most important disadvantage is, Prabhupada mentions as the soul-killing civilization. Not only soul-killing, even the artificial food products that he is creating, he is manufacturing, it's killing even the living person. Even the man, it's killing even the body, senses, everything. But whatever we stick to, that is given by the nature. Directly whatever the nature is giving to us, directly take it and we live with that. That gives us 100% of safety and it's a good health. Rather, artificially created, if you live with that, damn sure one will be implicated with so many diseases and health issues. So, man actually, because of the not knowing about the God consciousness, not knowing about the self-realization, not knowing about the God realization, is artificially thinking that is this body. And giving comfort to the body, to the senses, is life, is the aim of life. That is what people think. But the Acharyas, the Srimad Bhagavatam is describing us how this is a misdirect civilization. Especially Prabhupada writes in one of the purport of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the material world we are producing so many things. This Prabhupada writes in the 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam purport, in one of the purport. In the material world we are producing so many things, and this is called advancement of civilization. But factually, the advancement of civilization is a manifestation of the false ego. Prabhupada says, advancement of civilization is a manifestation of the false ego. What does it mean, manifestation of the false ego? For the body. False ego is what? Identifying oneself as the body, not as the soul. That is false ego. So, these are all the advancement of civilization is manifestation of the false ego. By false ego, all material things are produced as objects of enjoyment. Considering oneself to be the body, all these things are being produced as objects of enjoyment for the body. One has to cease increasing artificial necessities in the form of material objects. This is the Jai Shri Shri Radha Govind Ki Jai. One has to cease increasing artificial necessities in the form of material objects. Prabhupada is instructing us that we should cease, we should give up increasing artificial necessities in the form of material objects. One great Acharya, Narottam Das Thakur, has lamented that when one deviates from pure consciousness of Vasudeva or Krishna consciousness, he becomes entangled in material activities. The exact words he uses are Satsanga chadi kaino asate vilasa te karne lagila e karma bandha fasa. I have given up the pure status of consciousness because I wanted to enjoy in temporary material manifestation. Therefore, I have been entangled in the network of actions and reactions. So, when we give up our pure status of consciousness, Narottam Das Thakur says here that we will get entangled in the network of actions and reactions. Prabhupada in another place writes in that technology cannot take away the pain of the humans. It can to some extent give some comfort in the struggle for existence. Technology cannot take away the pains and struggle of the humans. To some extent, it can give some relief. In some way, it can give a lot of comfort in the way of working, in the lifestyle of living. It can give a lot of comfort, but it cannot take away the pain. Technology is just a struggle, is just a comfort in the struggle for existence. That means struggle still exists for life. One cannot mitigate the struggle. One has to struggle for existence. Technology may give some relief in the disease, but it cannot completely take away the pain in the sufferings of the diseases. It can give some relief in the suffering of disease, but it cannot completely give relief from the disease. In fact, there will be a lot of pain actually. Only thing is, he will be extending his life for few more days, 2 days. But ultimately when death comes, no technology, no doctor, no physician can save a person. One has to give up the body. So, Prabhupada says, if we at all want to get out of all this, as Prabhupada said in the previous this thing, one has to cease his living with the artificial necessities. How one can do that? By taking up to the Krishna consciousness, by reading of Srimad Bhagavatam. In one of the verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Tadvag Visargo Janataga Viplavo Yasmin Pratishlokam Abhaddhavatapi Namani Anantasya Yasho Ankitani Yat Shranvanti Gayanti Glananti Sadhava. In the translation of this verse, Prabhupada writes, on the other hand, that literature which is full of descriptions of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, forms, pastimes, etc., of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a different creation full of transcendental words. So Prabhupada is saying the Srimad Bhagavatam is full of transcendental words with the name, fame, form, pastimes, etc. of the Supreme Lord. And what does it does? It directs towards bringing about a revolution in the impious lives of this world's misdirected civilization. Srimad Bhagavatam can bring a revolution in the impious lives of the misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literatures, even though imperfectly composed, are heard, sung and accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest. So Srimad Bhagavatam can bring a revolutionary change in the life of the people. So what is this misdirected civilization? Prabhupada says, misdirected civilization, bringing about a revolution in the misdirected civilization. Misdirected civilization means one who has given up the aim of life, one who has been misdirected from the real aim of life. What is the aim of life? All the acharyas, all the scriptures, all the Vedas describe about what? Akhila Bandha Muktaye, to become one free from all the bondages. All these artificial necessities, what it is creating in the man? It is creating bondage. Like man has brought about with gadgets. 20 years back there were no gadgets, there were no mobiles. 25 years back there were no mobiles. But still, life was very normal. People used to live. It's not that people were unable to, were very much struggling to live. No, people used to live. But after the invention of mobile, people are so conditioned to that, they think that without mobile we cannot exist. I had explained in the previous class also, if one day at least, if the whole mobile network gets off, people will live so, they will have a very horrible day that day. That will be the horrible day for everyone. Why? Because they have become so conditioned, so much entangled with that lifestyle, with that. And they think without that, it is not possible. Life is not possible to sustain. And man is creating more and more of these kinds of artificial necessities. Even though he knows that this is not really necessity, but people want to get all those entanglement. Because the person who is manufacturing it, the person who is buying it, both are in illusion, in ignorance. The whole mass of people is in ignorance. They do not know what is the real aim of life. They do not know who they are actually. They are completely in false ego, accepting the body to be all in all. So, we should take up to the literatures and the Acharya's instructions, which gives us Akhila Bandha Muktaya, which pulls us out from all the entanglements of material existence. All the purpose of all the activities we perform must be for the Akhila Bandha Muktaya, to become free from the entanglement of material existence. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, what is the knowledge that Krishna is giving to us? To become free from all entanglement. Many places Krishna says, work with detachment. So Krishna is teaching what? Akhila Bandha Muktaya, become free from all entanglements. All the Vedas are teaching what? To become free from all entanglements. Srimad Bhagavatam is teaching about what? The same, to become free from all entanglements. But what we are doing, we are getting more and more entangled in the artificial needs of life, unwanted necessities of life. So, Prabhupada in this purport is trying to explain the same thing, that if we become Krishna conscious, God conscious, and completely depend on the Lord without being entangled, rather use the necessities, use the artificial needs in the service of the Lord as much as required only, and not get entangled with that. If we get entangled, that means we are also in the false ego concept. We as a devotee of the Lord, what we should do? We should come out of the false ego platform. And how to come out? By becoming detached from all these things. We should use it in a detached way. So much devotees will get used to it that they think, even if I go to toilet, I should have this. They cannot go without the mobile. They want to have mobile along with them. We see in the material world, people will go sit on the commode and read the newspaper. We see in the advertisement like that. And devotees also, in a different way, they get used to it. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that there are something called Shuchi and Muchi. A person who is demonic, he do not know how to differentiate between Shuchi and Muchi. In the 17th chapter, Krishna describes about this. And devotees of the Lord should know how to differentiate between what is Shuchi and what is Muchi. Just like we have so many other standards also. We use so many things for the Lord. It has its own place. Everything has its own place. We will not mix it up. Prabhupada, when he was in America, he saw devotees using a glass from the toilet, getting water from the toilet to water the tulsi plant. Prabhupada says, you devotees are mlechas, you do not know how to be clean. They thought water is no. I want to water tulsi plant, so I get the water from toilet, use the toilet utensil. No, it can't be used. It has its own place. So, just like whatever we use for the deities, we will not take it to the other place. And whatever we use in the toilet, we cannot take it to the pujari room. We should know which thing to keep where. So everything Prabhupada has explained, has taught, because Western civilization was like that. They did not know how to actually live a purified way of life. But nowadays, even we are learning those habits. But it is very important for us to learn how to live a purified life, how to live everything pure way. Using things for the Lord's service, everything should be in a pure way. We cannot mix up things. So we should understand all these things, and most of the instructions is given by the Lord and Prabhupada in the literatures, in the Bhagavatam and in the Bhagavad Gita. We should take advantage of it and live a life towards purification. Especially, we should become not entangled in all these things, in the artificial needs of life. We should not think, why Prabhupada says that we should not get into habit of coffee and tea or intoxication, because that gives us so much of bondage. Without this, I cannot live. It creates such a mentality within the mind. We should not become like that. Thinking about Krishna can happen mentally, within the mind also. There is no need for another agent to help us to think of Krishna. If there is, yes, we can take advantage of it. But that also, we should know which thing to use in which place. So, I'll stop here. Any questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you for a fantastic discourse. Prabhuji, we always compare ourselves with Western world, whereas the Western world looks or seems much more advanced, neater, organized, and maybe even enlightened compared to us. I'm saying per se India. So when we have so much of knowledge, the wisdom, how come we are still work in progress?
We have knowledge, but knowledge is hidden. We ourselves do not know about the value of that knowledge. We ourselves do not know the value of the knowledge that we have. Most of the so-called Indians who have taken birth in India, they themselves do not know the value of the knowledge, of the Vedic knowledge, of the knowledge in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Prabhupada, that's why says, when he went to US, he saw many of the Indians in his program, in his Pendal lectures and other places. When he sees some Indians, Prabhupada says, you people have come to beg technology. So there is no, as such, Prabhupada is not against it, technology or advancement of it, but giving up the real aim of life and taking up that as the real aim, that is Prabhupada against. Prabhupada is against of giving up the real aim of life, of becoming Krishna conscious. Prabhupada is not against of all the technology or advancement. in this technology. In one lecture, Prabhupada also says, there is one video also, there is so much advancement in the technology, in all the fields. That's fine. But what about the real problem of life? What is the solution that you have brought about by all this advancement in technology? Have you mitigated birth, death, old age and disease? No. The real problem of life is still a problem in spite of all the advancement in technology. So first we should take up the solution to mitigate the real problems of life. And with that, we can just take up the technology. But the Western civilization, or even current civilization, we cannot say only Western civilization. In the current scenario, everyone is behind the artificial needs, everyone behind technology, giving up the real aim of life. So, the Indians are so-called, who themselves call themselves as Hindu or any designation, they themselves do not know the value of the real literature that they have. And that is the cause of all these things. That's why Prabhupada says, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, Bharat Bhumite Janma Hoile Yaar, Janma Sartak Karo Paropakar. First you become Sartaka. First make your life Sartaka. And then do Paropakara. And that's what Prabhupada also, he tried to preach Krishna consciousness initially in India, but people were very much going towards Western. In one of the Ratha Yatra lecture, Prabhupada says in the public in US, first Ratha Yatra lecture, Prabhupada says in the US, that I wanted to preach this Krishna consciousness in the India, but Indians were were reluctant to take this Krishna consciousness. They were all moving towards Western civilization. So I came to the Western world so that if Westerns take to civilize this Krishna consciousness, then seeing them, the Indians will come to it at least. So Prabhupada tried a lot for 10 years or 15 years. Prabhupada tried to start Krishna consciousness movement in India only. But it was not a success. Everyone were moving towards Western culture. So Prabhupada went to Western country, and he started preaching over there. He started giving Krishna consciousness, making them Krishna conscious, and brought them to India, and Indians were surprised. How come Americans are singing and dancing the kirtans, while Indians themselves are not doing? We can see even in Vrindavan, Mayapur, if you go, the Indians will come like a fools, and the Western people, they will be showing them Bhagavad Gita, they will be teaching them Bhagavad Gita, and Indians will be blinking their eyes. That is the scenario now. Nobody knows what is our own literature is. Vedas are teaching us.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Just final question, being an economist, I have done my MPhil in business economics, wrote some dissertations also. My question is, I've passed, now I'm 54 years old, but in this lifespan I have not seen India advancing. And of course it is advancing in many ways, but economically people are struggling to get the 2 meals a day type of situation. That poverty-stricken India, I know I have people around me, youngsters now, because education is free, so everyone should go to school and all. Midday meal is there, Akshapatra is a basic provider of that. But I still see children are not going towards studies, they're not acquiring any vocational training. We are still hand to mouth. Whereas the other world, especially if you compare with Europe, all European countries are so advanced. I'm not talking about America at all, the culture is totally different there. But somehow when I see the skyscrapers, when I see the people around us, we are still in the rat race, we are still struggling. And one side, just 4% of the people are super rich and rest all are hand to mouth. So what is the solution? Do we have a solution in our religious texts? And is it just because of Maya is making us do this and we are deprived of our success? Or what is success? Is it materialism and consciousness, or consciousness and materialism goes hand in hand? That's how I'm able to stand here, because I'm able to earn my livelihood at the same time be Krishna conscious or God conscious. So how to bring this balance about, and how wonderful it will be instead of seeing everywhere half done work. The constructions are all, today people build road, tomorrow they dig it up. There is no coordination, there is no... The reason why people still rushing for European countries or foreign countries are because they are so neat and tidy, so well organized. Example Japan, example Korea, example of all these Asian countries, China, they are doing so very well, but they are away from God. China has done away with all the religious temples they had, all the Buddhist monasteries. Today they don't have a single temple. But look at the affluence. And we say people are affluent because they are blessed by God. That's why they get all the Riddhi Siddhi. But how come they don't have a single temple and they are still getting Riddhi Siddhi? Is it the past karma? Or is it they are still going to stumble upon and fall into the ditch?
India, you said that India is not advanced. Yes, India is not advanced, but India is imitating to be advanced. It's imitating to be advanced materially. But actually, India must have to be spiritually advanced a lot. If you see in that, when the first person of the UK, British government, he came, Lord Macaulay, he surveyed the whole Indian situation of that time, and he said that the main backbone of the Indian culture is its spirituality. And if we can able to break that down, then we can conquer India. And they were successful in doing that actually. They broke down the spiritual backbone of Indian culture, and they were able to conquer, or they were able to rule for so many years in India. But until date, people are not still woken up to that. They are still in the deep slumber of material advancement, in spite of having such advanced spiritual knowledge within our country. And now most of the even other countries are also opening their eyes to this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, and whoever has come in touch, they have really got enlightened with the real knowledge. So Prabhupada also thought that before he goes to America, he thought that America must be very much rich and other things. But Prabhupada in many places says, wherever we go, beggars are there. It's not that only India is having beggars. Prabhupada says, wherever we go, there are poor people. Wherever we go, there are beggars. There are people lying on the streets in every country, not only in India. So poverty and religion, just by worshipping or opening a temple and going to the temple, does not mean he is a very religious person. Religiosity means to understand the aim of life, understanding the aim, purpose behind doing all those things. What is the purpose of going to the temple? It's not just for want of some material needs, wherein most of the people goes to the temple for what? To build up their economic status, not for the actual purpose, to become God conscious, to become free from the material entanglement. No, that is not the purpose. So we should go, the religion is for what? Religion means, Prabhupada says in the Bhagavatam, religion means to which one helps us to develop love for God. If something is called religion and it is not helping us to develop love of God, that is not real religion. So any religion you take, any religious scripture you take, what it is teaching us, how we can develop love of God. No matter whether you are rich or poor or this or that. And it is not that the acharyas went only to the rich people, to the kings and taught them. Yes, they went to the rich kings and taught so that the king will in turn teach his subjects and make sure the subjects follow it. That's how it was. The leaders should make sure that the subjects are taking to this Krishna consciousness, they're practicing God consciousness in their life. But current situation, it is not that. The leaders want their position only for sense gratification. And the people also want such a leader only for sense gratification. If the leader is satisfying his senses in as they want, if the leader is giving some nice liquor, he is giving money, he is giving job, oh, he is a good leader. Whereas the leader is helping them in Krishna consciousness, in God consciousness, that's not a, they won't consider that to be a good leader. Why? Because they are in ignorance. They don't have the actual knowledge. The leader also do not have, the subjects also do not have. So it doesn't matter whether it is rich or poor, we cannot eliminate the poverty of anything, any place, any country altogether. Even if you bring all the money of all the richest people and distribute it, still you cannot eliminate the poverty, that is for sure. You may give 10 rupees, that doesn't mean that you eliminated the poverty of a person. Or you may give whole your property to a person, that doesn't mean, even many places the government has given the home so that they leave their huts and the slum area and come and stay in the home. They give the home for rent and they will stay in the slum only. Houses they will give for rent and they will live in the slum only. So you cannot eliminate like that. But we should make sure we become first, make our life sarthaka. When you become, when you take the knowledge and when you see with the eyes of knowledge, then you will get to know all these things. So when you read these Prabhupada purports more and more, then you will understand all these things. Until that, these questions will be a question only. Whatever answer we give, it won't be satisfied. Only when we realize, we will get the real answer. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I just want to know how to see Lord in everyone. So Bhagavad Gita preaches Karma Yoga, but still in this Maya we get delusioned and we get lost. So how to see Lord in every work and in everyone?
You are in the night of ignorance. When you come to the light of knowledge, you can see. And that knowledge is in the Bhagavad Gita of Prabhupada books. When you open the book, read it, understand it, and realize it. It's not just you understand the lines and purports, you should realize it. When you realize, then you can see the Lord in every person.
I'm a practicing doctor. So can you give me a tip how to go about, how to start it?
That's what. You can take the Bhagavad Gita as it is written by Prabhupada. Read it every day, one shloka, one purport, at least.
I've started it 1 year back.
Okay.
I've been reading.
And also you should chant Hare Krishna mantra
I've
along
been
with
chanting Hare Krishna mantra also. I daily visit temple in the morning and evening and chant Hare Krishna mantra also. I do some meditation for the Lord for 1 or 2 hours. But still that bliss would be there only for some time.
Yes.
After some time that is lost.
when you are engaging your consciousness for some time, and so you are able to feel it for some time. When you make your consciousness completely God conscious, you can have the consciousness, you can feel it completely for whole day.
Because I see a lot of patients, they come in with lot of emotions and everything. So as the day goes, I'll be able to manage for some part of time. But after some part of time, there'll be a lot of other people also around me with lot of different emotions and all these things. And everybody would not be so pure, genuine and all these things. Sometimes I run a hospital. So sometimes I need to have my anger and all these things. But at the end of the day, that's Sthita Pragnata, all these things will be just
So again you should take it. So how? By same way, by chanting and reading books, again you should take to that process of knowledge, and you should take to that, just like when you go out in the sun, you will become sweat and you will become so dusty and all those things. So again, how you become refreshed? By taking a bath. Before leaving home, you would have taken bath, refreshed, and go out. Again you become fully tired, exhausted. When you come back and again take bath, again you will feel that refreshment. So in the same way, first at home you chant, you read everything, go to the work, come back and do the same activity. Again you will get that refreshment.
So the results we have to leave to the Lord. So when we work also, how to practice it?
How to practice it means, yes, when you take up Krishna consciousness, when you start chanting, reading, and also what is the main activity in the life? What is the main purpose of earning money? What is the main purpose of earning money? I'm asking you, what is the main purpose of earning money?
The main purpose of earning money is sharing to everyone.
Now, for your livelihood, what is the main purpose of earning money?
As of now,
For the food and life.
and that's it. Previously I was
Yes.
thinking I want to earn, but just if you have food and place to stay, that is enough.
Yes.
More than that, nothing is needed.
Yes.
Nothing.
When the main purpose of earning money is for food, that food you offer to the Lord and take it, so you are utilizing all your money in Krishna consciousness. And you share some amount of your earning livelihood, you use it in spending for the Lord's activities. Main purpose is offer the food and have it.
That I do regularly.
Yes. In that way you are using your money in Krishna's service. We'll stop here.
In patient service, in treating the patients, how this Krishna consciousness makes me better.
By making them also to chant, by giving them Krishna consciousness, by giving them some small gifts of Prabhupada books.
Okay. Yeah.
If you feel, if they may not feel comfort, but you give them Krishna conscious books, some books you give them to read at home. And just teach them to practice Krishna consciousness at home in small way of reading and chanting. That's the best welfare activity.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.